everyone, this is Navi for Krista. So Krista, thank you so much for sending me your eye picture. This is definitely a blue eye, and I would say that naturally they are very light blue, because I think there is a distinction, because sometimes people think, well, I have blue eyes and they picture baby blue eyes, but a lot of the times they have darker blue eyes and not necessarily lighter blue. So there's also variation shade there, but I think in your case you actually have those baby blue eyes that everybody kind of wants to have, or most people want to have, because we can see this especially right below the pupil. And for everybody who's listening who wants to know what color their eyes are, usually right below the pupil, right underneath the pupil is that black dot in the middle of your iris, in the middle of your eye. Right below it is where most of the time I see the least amount buildup. And the reason why that is because of how the chart is connected to your actual body parts. Right below the pupil, depending on which eye you're talking about, the right or the left, it's supposed to be kidneys, adrenals, but besides that, those are just the two spots. But besides that, the rest of the rest of the area of the eye usually is pretty clean, much more so than the brain area, which is right above the pupil, and that's usually very much built up. And that's just how it works, honestly. So if you're not sure if your eyes are blue or brown, that's probably the best area to see if you have any like chunks that are blue or green, or any kind of variations in color besides the brown. So, and for you, right in that area, what we see is we do see a little bit of white, and the white is representing the buildup. But there's also where you can clearly see it's like white, but it's like fibers white. It's not white as in white buildup. It's hard to tell the difference because both fibers are light color, as well as the buildup itself can be a light color, which goes into a yellow if it gets, like further into development of the toxicity, right? And then goes into the brown and dark brown, and it can even go towards the black. But here we can see that it's kind of like a yellowy white, and then it goes to the brown, to actually a reddish brown, and then to the dark, to the like uniform brown, if you would like to say. So, but right before that, we do see the blue areas, and then we also see it in the circles of the in the nerve rings, which are the circles going around the eye. So right there you can also see your true eye color. So it's a very, very light color, I would say. But again, what you have is probably what 99% of people who email me have, and you guys can see it. Like it's very kind of interesting that the consistency between different people with different nationalities, different eating habits, different everything, but their eyes are very much the same because the foods are very similar in terms of how we were taught to eat versus how we really should be eating. Because even if, say, Chinese people eat different than Arabic people, eat different than, I don't know, Russian people, the consistency of eating meats along with carbs, along with vegetables is always there, where not a lot of diets and cultures are really focusing on eating a lot of fruit, except for like coastal areas, right? But most of the countries are very much into like the meat and potatoes. It's just that, for example, like I'm like Russian, Ukrainian background, so that's why I'm saying Russians, but like Eastern Europeans will just cook the meat and potatoes one way, the Chinese will cook them another way, that's the only difference, but you can really kind of see that the harm that it does to the eye is the same as well. And because the taste and how you cook it doesn't really specifically matter, as long as you're cooking it above certain degrees, which are destroying the actual properties of that product, like of the vegetable. So they're cooked to the point where the enzymes are dead, all of this is destroyed, and they're dead food, So, and at that point, it doesn't matter if you're frying it, boiling it, I mean, frying it is worse, obviously, but it's not very good. So basically, your situation is the same like everybody else. Really dirty, right around the pupil area, which means the GI is really suffering. It's you could see it in the walls of the GI, because you see how when it emanates from the pupil, it's like a uniform brown, which is your GI tract. But right there's like almost like a wall buildup, and that is the wall of your GI. So it's getting trapped in the actual fiber, like in the wall of the GI, and it can't get out of there, so it's kind of stuck. Um, and also obviously the stress levels, because there's nerve rings all around your eyes, so you really have to watch your stress. Try to lower it. You don't have to do everything for everybody. You can relax and take time for yourself. Meditation really helps with this as well as eating the right foods, because meat is a stimulant. If you're drinking a lot of coffee, that's a stimulant. So if you're or tea, if you're really bringing up your stress hormones by stimulating your system so much, you will feel you can often feel stressed. So you do want to take time to relax and just enjoy the life, rather than always be stressed, because I do see it here. Also, it is a little bit worse in your head area, so that could affect your levels of activity. Like, you might feel tired, you might feel like you're just off, like you could function better than you're functioning. I guess that's the best way to describe it when this happens. I specifically see it in the very kind of high contrast pictures that you sent me, because you can see like spokes in the wheel. You can see it. It's called radii solaris, and basically this is the groove. So wherever that line really kind of pinches your fiber, because it's like a groove inside the fiber. So the deeper the groove, that means the more of a problem it is, and whatever organ it goes through on the iridology diagram, that organ is going to be suffering. So, and as you start to get to a correct diet, they're going to get lighter and lighter and lighter. They're going to straighten out. The fibers are going to straighten out throughout the eye. These grooves are going to go away. The nerve ring grooves that are going around the eye are going to start to again come apart. So all of this will change, but it's not going to change overnight. Like I said, it takes about 2 years. You can see my other videos on my channel where people have changed their eyes, and it's an ongoing process where every day you're doing your best, if one meal at a time, to change it. And the stress levels, I mean, I find that being in it now for a while and learning along the way, like as you guys know, that I've learned as I continued to kind of work on my diet and my own eyes changing and all of this, I could see that really stress plays a major role in it, because if you are stressed, you will fall off your diet very easily. And all of the stuff that you plan to do, you plan to eat, you plan to live a certain way, stress can ruin that, because it takes your focus away. So it really is about focusing attention on what you wanted to be focused on, and then going with that and changing what you want to change about your diet and lifestyle. So I would say really address the stress first, almost, and the diet second. Not that the diet is not important, the diet is major in this, but nothing is going to change unless you change those stress levels. Also, when your body is acidic, a lot of it is because stress makes you acidic as well. It makes the body acidic. So you want to make sure that the stress has to go away. Not entirely. We're all human. We're all doing things. We're all stressed. But there's, some stress, and then there's intense stress. So if you're experiencing intense stress, even if sometimes a person really is not stressed on the outside, like they're living a very kind of seems like a carefree life, but you're stressed inside, you have to address that and try to, if you can, allow yourself to do meditation every day, even if it takes away from some of your other activities, because meditation really helps calm down, and it is extremely important. If you're very religious, you can kind of include prayer in it, or just simply just do the prayer. The point is you're going within and you are taking the time to get centered. How you're doing it, it's really up to you and whatever works best for you. So I hope this helps. But for sure you do have blue eyes. There's no doubt here. And really, as you can see from the eye, the biggest part that's brown right now is your GI. So if you get rid of the brown around the GI, you really are already gonna have blue eyes. And then, like I said, focus on the stress. Thank you so much for emailing me. If you guys would like me to review your eyes, I'll link everything down below. I also have a book for sale on how to go from a regular diet to a raw food diet. Guys, I am a little bit behind. I do have a way for you guys to skip the line. If you go to my website alligraymon.com, you can purchase an eye review, and it's a more in-depth eye review as well, and it comes with my book also, and I email you the review as well as the book directly, so I won't post it on YouTube. So that's available on alligraymon.com. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.